So today I'm going to have a jumping lesson, which is going to be the third time I've jumped Apollo, and the first time was a cross pole twice, a tiny cross pole, and the second time was a tiny cross pole once. So I'm going to do a bit more jumping and going to do more than one jump and see how it goes. So we started over some really basic trotting poles just to get into the groove of going from one. I'm not sure if I've ever done, I think I might have just done singular trotting poles with him at this point. So just to get him flowing from one set of wings to the other. Obviously he's done more recently than I have, even though he's only a baby. He's just turned 4, but he was produced in Ireland, so he's been, had to do a bit more. But I obviously haven't jumped for 25 years. So we go from one fence to another fence with poles on the floor to start with. So his steering, especially to the left, is quite hard. He's just had his back done and his neck with our chiropractor, so he's better. But it was like steering a truck to the left, and you do feel like you're being really handy trying to get him to turn. It's not really listening to your leg or your seat, so it is a bit agricultural at the moment to turn left. But then he keeps going. The thing with this horse is that he never seems to say no, he just keeps going. I'm still getting used to riding with short stirrups. I've done years and years and years of dressage saddles, and it's really difficult to change and to start using different muscles that I've not used for so long, and so it's work in progress, and we're here and we're doing it. I, as you can see, really struggle to jump out of trot, so we're at the stage where I'm still having to kick him to get him to sort of take off and know where the right spot is. And I find that really hard to do whilst I'm in rising trot. I feel so much better in canter, but I know for young horses it's better for them to trot into fences so they've got longer to clock the fence. The thing with him, because he's done a bit, he's really careless if they're tiny. But at the moment I need them to be tiny so that I feel confident jumping, but he just ploughs through them unless they're anywhere, sort of, I think 80, 70, 80, maybe probably 80, 90, he might start jumping them properly. Anything else he kind of trots over, which is a little bit difficult, but he keeps going and he doesn't get offended, and for that I'm super grateful. See, as soon as I go into canter, I feel like I know it's not great, but I feel like the jump comes to me easier and I don't have to, it just feels much more comfortable. He's got amazing brakes, as you can see. The second you make him whoa, he's like stop dead. I think his natural inclination is to be a bit lazy, but I love his attitude. I could not fault his attitude. He's such a good boy, and for his age he's just so level-headed as well. He's almost one that needs to be jazzed up a bit, I think, to get the best jump out of him. And I'm just getting used to it all at the moment, so I'm sure in the future we'll be a great team. At the moment it feels a bit wonky, but I just feel as soon as I get into canter that it's all just so much easier, so we need to work on that for sure.
But we finished, Mummy. Kick. Right. Kick. Yes. Sit. Again. Go on. Up. Lovely. Mabel.
So I did it, and it looked a bit wonky, I'm sure. I haven't looked at the footage back yet, but I'm sure it looked wonky. My body is only just getting used to riding short. I've got all the excuses, but they genuinely do account for, you know, a bit of wobbles and that kind of stuff. So I already feel stronger riding short. I feel like I need to grab the neck strap less to sort of balance when he does baby surges and things like that. So, and that's only a few weeks, so hopefully we're getting there. And but the joy is like no other. Is so good. I've so missed it. So it's really exciting. So apparently my friend Nina, who helped me just now, said, should we do Sab tomorrow? So we've got a little issue with Sab's saddle. I think I bought him a new one and it's a little bit wide, so I'm going to see if I can make it work. If not, he can use the one Apollo's got, but so it's going to be him tomorrow, which I'm a little bit more nervous about, but exciting. Now it's Savio's turn. Now he is the one that got me a little bit worried. I didn't, this was the following day and my friend was like, do you want to jump Savio? Let's do that as well, same as we did yesterday. So Savio got me a bit worried because he has all the natural ability. He makes a beautiful bascule over every fence he jumps, and he's a bit of an overachiever. So I had this thing that I was going to get jumped off, and I've jumped him only once at this point, and it was a tiny, like these tiny cross pole, and it was fine, but then I haven't jumped him since. And so we started him in exactly the same way, just going over the poles. I've done more poles with him than I have with Apollo, obviously, because I've had Savio for 3.5 years. So we just go around the poles in the same way, but we don't do poles between wings. So, you know, again, that's a bit of a new thing for him. Although he's 8, he's still only jumped for, he started jumping in April. So not very long at all. So we go and then we progress to small cross poles, and the first time I went up to it, I literally just did nothing. I just sat there and just dropped him. And so, because I just thought he was going to go, and so he just went, what? Like, you know, which is fine because I didn't help him at all. I didn't tell him what to do. I just trotted up to it. And so then I started to say, no, actually, I do mean that you've got to jump. And then it started to get a little bit better. He's the one that definitely gets a bit more feisty and a bit more lit up by it. And that is another thing in itself, because I've had more issues with him with being silly and bucking and all of that jazz. And then for this fence, he obviously goes too early, which is his thing. He will very, very rarely go in deep. So he'll go early, and then he caught it with his back leg, and because it touched him, he then freaked out and had a bit of a fly kick and a bit of a bronk and stuff. But I was pleased that it didn't let it bother me. I just carried on. We came again, jumped it, and it was fine. And then we started just linking a few of them together. For me, it's just about having the confidence that I'm not going to get jumped off. He actually was being quite conservative, so he wasn't being crazy or anything, which was good. And I just need to get used to the fact that he just puts in a lot more effort than Apollo will, and that's fine, because that's just what he's going to go like. I've got a new saddle for Savio, and it pushes really, really wide on your thigh, and so I always feel like you get left behind. So you'll have to forgive the wind noise. I forgot to do an outro yesterday, and so I'm not even sure if I did a little in-between bit, because I jumped Apollo on Saturday, and then my friend kindly said, do you want to do Savio on Sunday? So I was a little bit, because I only jumped him once over like a tiny cross pole 2 or 3 times, I think. So, but I was like, no, yep, let's do it. So yesterday it was Savio's turn. We just put 3 jumps up in the
the arena like we did with Apollo, and I had a go, and he's so different to Apollo. It's unbelievable. Like Apollo's like jumps by braille and is just learning to pick his feet up and stuff. He does jump properly when it's big, but when it's small he's very Irish and like, oh, just do the minimum effort. But Savio is an overachiever, and he really bascules over everything, and he goes a bit early, so he'll always go on a long one. And for someone that's not jumped for 25 years, it's quite a lot to get used to. It's quite a lot to get used to. And if he touches a pole, like you'll see, well, you will have seen in the video, I think, he does a little fly kick out and then a bit of a bronc. And then he does have a moment as well where we're coming into this tiny cross pole. They're all tiny things, and Apollo's running around in the field, and it doesn't look like it, but I can see he's like got distracted by Apollo, so he just kind of stops. And then I went up his neck a bit, and then I say, oh, he's here. He's like upset that I've got Apollo in first, and then he's a bit like, then I just like, he steps through it. So there's a couple of moments like that, but I'm going to leave it all in because that's part of the journey, isn't it? But it was really good to get them both done, to get them both like jumped. It is tiny, but it's tiny because I need to get used to jumping again without worrying about any height. Like I can go whatever, you know, whatever stride we can go when it's this small. And then also I know Sab's going to over jump everything anyway. So he's always going to jump like 3 foot, whether I'm jumping up cross pole on the floor or not. Hello, say hi. Hi. He says, "Oh, look, Aquaman." So it's just to get into the groove of it the first few times, not be pressured to go high, just to kind of think, no, you know, I've got a really knackered back. I've not done it for so many years. I've been, whoa, somebody's got the phone. I've been a dressage rider, so my body's like used to riding long and not riding short. My back was killing me after I did Apollo, to be honest, on the day before. So I just need to monitor that a little bit. But it was great. And so that's my little roundup. Jumped them both, they were good. Got to keep on doing it now, keep the kind of momentum up, do a few more times, and then hopefully I'll feel confident enough to be able to go for a lesson somewhere. So thanks for watching. Give me grace in the comments, please, because I know they're tiny and I know I look a bit wobbly and stuff, but they're very different to jump. And it's a lot to get used to, my body getting used to that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It would really help me out, to be honest. I want to share this sort of warts and all journey, so it would be great if we could get some more subscribers. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.